really happy to let me to have a presentation for you this afternoon. I will begin with my presentation about the impact of endovascular therapy on acute AVO with the last ischemic score within 6 hours after the onset. So this morning, you only heard about Dr. Nguyễn told about the beyond 24 hours endovascular with the patient's last ischemic score. But this afternoon, I will present for the patient in just within 6 hours from the onset. So EVT is highly recommended for the LVO with the aspect for more than 6 points due to occlusions of the ICA or the MCA M1. However, for the patient with the aspect is less than 6, there's the guideline is just 2A. So for the current evidence, so this study is just published in 2023 in this year, and this trial is the prospective randomized open label, adaptive and multi-center, and single one trial blind, and evaluating for the efficacy and safety of the thrombectomy in the patients within 0 to 24 hours from the onset. And the inclusion criteria is the patient with stroke due to the occlusions on the ICA or the MCA. And the aspects, it come from 3 to 5, or the core volume is at least 50 milliliters. And the outcome will be the primary outcome, will be the MRS score at 90 days. So look at this when you comparison in this study, select 2. The symptomatic ICX is not so different between the EVT and OMT, with the P is around less than 0.1, and the 90 days mortality is not so different, but the 90-day MRS of the 0 to 2, so the patient is a functional dependence. Will be different with the analytics group. For P is just 0.001. For the EVTs around 27%, and the AMTs with the MRS around 0 to 2, just around less than 4%. So that's the reason why we performed the study in S.I.S hospital with the same concept about the patient with last score ischemic, and we define the patient with last score ischemic by diffusion perfusions is less than 5 points. But we include the patient from 0 to 2 also, not only for 3 to 5. So the primary endpoint is the same. We define by modified ranking around 0 to 3 for the good outcome, and from 0 to 2 for the functional dependent. And also we estimated for the safety outcome with the intracranial hemorrhage, cerebral edema, the compressive craniotomy after the EVT. So for the patient characteristics, the median age around 60. For male is dominant for 75%, and median admissions need score around 80. So let's say that's significant for the severe. And median onset to admission time around 175. And the Y aspect is around 3. And the number of the patient with the Y aspect around from 0 to 2 is 43% of the patients. So half of the patients have the very large score, the ischemic score. And the ICA lesions in number of patients is 48% of patients. So let's say half of the patients have the very large occlusion on the vessel. So compare with from our study with another study come from out of Yoshimura and Kakita. So the number of the patients with DOI aspect from 0 to 2 is maybe higher a lot. So we can take a look from the median onset to the recanalization times is around 3. So let's say it's less than 6 hours. And general anesthesia is how most of the patients, and ADAPT technique, we have 2/3, and Solumbra around the half, and balloon dilation is just 1/4. For stenting, we take the stenting for the patient for intracranial stenting, 18%, extracranial stenting for 16%, and half of the patient have the DABT before or intra the procedural. And heparin using in half of the case, and the MTC 2B to 3. So let's say the fully 80% of the recanalizations is we can achieve in the 90% of the patients. So this algorithm is shown for the MTC with the patient from the MTC from 0 to 2A, on 6 patients have the MRS from 4 to 6. So let's say the patient cannot recanalize the vessel, occlude the vessel, so the patient have the more significant clinical aspect after 90 days. With the patient come from here, we achieve for the MRS from after 90 days, from 0 to 3, around 35 patients, so let's say 2/3. But look at in the complications, a lot of complications, but not so take half of the population in the study. The NESH is occurs in the 1/3 of the population, but 20% of the patients have the symptomatic ICH. And the cerebral edema occur in the 57% of the patients, and the compressive craniotomy occur around the 20% of the patient, but mortality is no. So look at in the outcome of the patient after 90 days. The 90-day MRS from 0 to 3, so let's say good outcome, good functional, we achieve in the 62% of the patient, and we compare with another author like Kaikita and Yoshimura, like double, just in 30% of the patient in the populations. And the secondary endpoint will be the 90-day MRS from 0 to 2. So this group is the functional dependent, so they can take care by themselves. We achieve in 41% of the patient is much more higher than the other others, and mortalities happen in the 16% of the patients. So take a look at in the univariate logistics reactions. So we take from the door to recanalization time. So plus 10 min will decrease 10% for the outcome, good outcome. So let's say the patients come to the hospital late for 2 hours. So let's say the patient have the double chance for get the bad outcome. So I will present for you for 2 cases in our study. The first one is 47 years old female patient, and 2 hours from the onset, the patient have the sudden left hemiplegia with dysplasia, and when the admission, the NIST score is around 12 points. So look at the diffusions. So this patient have the DY aspect around 2. And we can see the clot on the MCA, right MCA, but the MRA, we can see not any flow on the right ICA. So the patients, they have the general anesthesia, but procedure time just 10 minutes from the needle to the recanalization, just 10 minutes. And we're just using the last spot suction catheter. So on the left side will be the first one, diagnostics angiography. We can see not flow. We cannot see any flow from the ICA, from the extracranial segments. And we push the last catheter to here, and we do the suction here. And after that, we achieve this. And the second attempt, So we can see the recanalized but have the clot here and the clot here. And we take the second, and after the second, we can fully recanalize. 24-hour MRCT, you can see there's the ischemic core here and here. And the patient stay in the ICU for 2 days. After 48-hour post-EVT, the patient can conscious and can orbital command. And she's transferred to the inpatient department for 11 days. And sign and the symptom improve without any sign of the hemorrhagic event. And the 90-day MRS is around 2. So let's say the patient can take care by herself. Accidentally, the two patients have the same age, with 47 years old female patient live in the Mekong Delta. But she admitted to the hospital in after the 5 hours from the onset with sudden right hemiplegia and aphasia, with a NIT score around 90 points. When you look at in the diffusions, the house field is really high, and it's occur in the on of the deep parenchymas on the left side and the left MCA total occlusions. So the same with the last patient, we're just using for the last bore suction catheter, and the procedure time just 5 minutes. We just attempt for one attempt of the thrombectomy. So this is the very first time angiography. There's a clot here, and we direct suction. And then we can fully recanalize with the TC3. And the next day CT, we can see the parenchyma and no hemorrhagics. And then she stay in the ICU for 3 days, 24 hours, just the same. The previous patients can consult or we can recommend and stay in the inpatient department for 13 days. And the 90-day MRS for 2 after 90 days. So, you can check on the website about this study and our study also, because this study they include for the patient with the aspect from 3 to 5. So that's reasonable for inclusion the patients with this kind of the DY aspect in your considerations. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you very much. There's room for question. Do you have questions to the presenter? No questions, so this is quick making progress. So the next presenter is on the management of coronary artery disease, pre, peri, and post-intervention PCI, Dr. Nguyen Duc Chin. May we ask you to come on stage? Thank you.
Kính thưa quý thầy cô và quý chủ tọa đoàn cùng các bạn đồng nghiệp, thì để thay đổi không khí các cái ca can thiệp thần kinh và chủ đề can thiệp thần kinh, thì chắc tôi bác sĩ Nguyễn Đức Chỉnh đến từ khoa tim mạch của Bệnh viện đột quỵ tim mạch Cần Thơ trình bày một cái chủ đề cũng thường gặp trong lĩnh vực tim mạch can thiệp, đó là quản lý những bệnh nhân được can thiệp mạch vành, không chỉ là trong phòng thông tim mà còn quản lý phía sau đó. Bài trình bày của tôi gồm có 3 phần. Phần đầu tiên là quá trình hình thành mảng xơ vữa, kế tiếp là gánh nặng của hội chứng vành cấp, và cái thứ ba là cá thể hóa điều trị các cái tập tiểu cầu